New Concept Video Sports presents high school sports videos like no other video media outlet in the region. Watch tonight's game, then download it for free at no cost to the school's parents or athletes. This evening, it's football, the second season. Round 1 of the IHSAA High School 4A Sectional Championship. Tonight, it's the 7-2 Hobart Brickies taking on the 8-1 Mishawaka Cavemen. This evening's sectional contest and your free download are made possible by Oak Partners Wealth and Retirement Management in Crown Point and Valparaiso, Doctors Tim and Lisa Mullally in Crown Point, Blythe's Athletics in Valparaiso, and attorney Roy Dominguez of Maryville. The Mishawaka Cavemen, a state power as usual, ended the regular season ranked number 2 in the Associated Press and number 6 in the Indiana State Coaches Polls. The Cavemen are led by first-year head coach Keith Kinder, who took over for the legendary Bart Curtis, who never had a losing season in his 10 years at the helm. Coach Kinder is no stranger to the Mishawaka program, as he served 7 years as an assistant under Curtis, winning 5 sectionals and a state championship appearance. Mishawaka's only loss this fall was to Chicago Marist in a close one. Otherwise, this mostly veteran team, led by senior quarterback Sam Shively, posted an undefeated Indiana season that included 3 6A and 2 5A schools. The Hobart Brickies, on the other hand, are up and coming, and their football program has flourished lately from the 7th grade on up, maybe a bit sooner than expected. The Hobart Brickies also have a first-year head coach with a complete resume. Coach Craig Osika was named skipper early in the year when Ryan Turley stepped down after coaching the Brickies for 7 seasons. Coach Osika, a 1998 Hobart grad, played in the Indiana Football State Championship in 1996, the last time the Brickies made an appearance. He was an assistant coach for the Brickies under former coach Ryan Turley since 2005. Craig also starred at Indiana University and twice was selected IU's Offensive Lineman of the Year. Coach Osika then had a stint in the NFL playing for the San Francisco 49ers, the Cleveland Browns, and the Jacksonville Jaguars before an injury changed his career. The 2018 Hobart Brickies saw many underclassmen that made an impact this season, but what's kept this team together were the senior leaders: Sal Valley, Noah Olmos, Lane Ando, Sam Valdez, Orion Yester, and a few others. A tough opening matchup for the Hobart Brickies against these cavemen tonight, but this is what IHSAA football is all about. Next, from the Brickyard in Hobart, Indiana, it's round 1 when the 7-2 Hobart Brickies take on the 8-1 Mishawaka Cavemen. We hope you enjoy the game. The Brickies won the toss and elected to receive. And doing the kicking this evening will be Mishawaka Jr. Ryan Watt. The Caveman boot was grabbed at the 5-yard line by Hobart Jr. Matthew Benton, and he carried to the 25 before Thomas Frayling dragged him down. Taking the snaps for the Brickies on this evening is sophomore Riley Johnston, one of the many underclassmen who have played a role for Hobart this year. On first down, a quick sideline pass to Matthew Benton for a first down. But that play will be called back on an early holding penalty on the Brickies. So they will try again, this time first at 13 from the 22-yard line. This time, Sal Valley was handed the ball, and he was able to pick up 4 yards on the carry before being tripped up by Carl Fisher at the 26 and a 2nd and 9 next up for Hobart. The Cavemen, when on offense, use a lot of the play clock. And tonight, the Brickies have slowed things down a bit. On 2nd and 9 from the 26, Riley Johnston connected with Matthew Benton in the flats, and he was able to pick up a Brickie 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Next, it was Johnston calling his own number for 3 yards before Tyler Pearson and Derek Dawson made the stop. Then on 2nd and 7, a screen to Sal Valley, and he picked up some nice yardage inside Caveman territory down to the 44. And Hobart was doing a nice job controlling the tempo early on. On 1st and 10, it's right back to South Valley. But this time, the Mishawaka defensive line did their job and dropped the Brickie back for a loss near the midfield stripe and a 2nd and long next up for the Bricks. So on 2nd and 15, a pass to South Valley out of the backfield, and he was able to pick up 11 and a makeable 3rd and 4 for the Hobart Brickies. This time, out of the Wildcat and taking the direct snap was senior Noah Olmos, and he navigated his way to near the marker, but came up a yard short, and the Brickies will make an attempt on 4th and 1. Again, a direct snap to South Valley, and he gained enough for a Hobart first down at the Mishawaka 32, and the Bricks have controlled the line of scrimmage on this initial drive with a little over 6 minutes left in the first period. It was right back to South Valley, and he carried to the 29. Then on 2nd and 7, it was Riley Johnston on the keeper, but he was dropped for a loss of a couple and a nice play by Mishawaka Jr. Joseph Willis. So now Hobart is looking at a big 3rd and 9. This time, a Johnston pass was tipped and fell incomplete. So following the Brickies timeout, Coach Osika decided on a 4th down attempt. This time, Riley Johnson stepped back, and with Thomas Frayling bearing down on him, got off a pretty good pass that was read perfectly by senior Grant Jablonski. And all he did was make the interception and took it the distance for a Mishawaka Cavemen touchdown. What a turn of events early on. Everything was going according to plan. The Brickies won the toss, received the kick, and controlled the clock for nearly 8 minutes before a stunning interception and touchdown. What a nice play by the Cavemen senior. The Patton Snyder extra point attempt was good. So with 4:18 left in this initial period, the Mishawaka Cavemen lead the Hobart Brickies by 7. The Ryan Watt kickoff went out of bounds, which is a penalty. So the Hobart Brickies will try again, this time 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. On 1st down, it was South Valley on the carry, but he was dropped for a 1-yard loss. Then it was Riley Johnston stepping back and being flushed out of the pocket before being dropped for a big loss by Joseph Willis again. And the Brickies are struggling on their 2nd possession of the evening. Next on 3rd and long, the Brickies got half of those yards back on a pass from Johnston to DJ Lipke and a Hobart punt. The Hobart punt was fair caught at the 33-yard line by Donovan Snyder. The Mishawaka Cavemen will have their first offensive play of the game. On the first play from scrimmage for the visitors and taking the snaps is senior Sam Shively, and he handed off to Christopher Harness, another Mishawaka senior, who carried for a short gain of 3 yards. Then it was Christopher Harness on the carry, and a big gainer following a couple missed Bricky tackles down to the 32-yard line. And that quickly, the Mishawaka Cavemen are threatening. On 1st and 10, it was back to Christopher Harness for a couple. But on the play, a Caveman holding penalty will move the ball back to the 42. And now a 1st and 20. On the second snap, it was back to Harness for a couple. And that'll do it for the first period here at Hobart High School, where the visiting Mishawaka Cavemen have the lead over the Brickies 7-0. Back with second quarter action following this from Oak Partners. Oak Partners Incorporated in Crown Point and Valparaiso provide comprehensive investment consulting services with the goal of increasing their clients' wealth and protecting their financial future through professional guidance with a personalized investment strategy. The staff at Oak Partners believes that investing in today's markets require discipline, knowledge, and professional experience, and they have their clients' trust to deliver prudent advice and help maximize their returns. To open second quarter action, the Cavemen will have the ball 2nd and 17 from the Hobart 39-yard line. On the snap, a play-action pass to Christopher Harness, who beat a tackle, then took it into the end zone for another Mishawaka score. And what started out promising for the Brickies at the outset suddenly looks a little bleak. The extra point attempt was good. So with 10 seconds gone in the second period, the Mishawaka Cavemen lead by 14. The Cavemen kickoff is grabbed at the 30-yard line by Miguel Castillo, and he picked up 3 yards before being dropped by Devin Jimenez. So on 1st and 10, a short gainer and a Hobart penalty will bring the ball back. An illegal procedure call will back the Bricks up to the 28, and a 1st and 15 next up. But before the Bricks could get the snap off, a false start penalty will move the ball back to the 23, and now a 1st and 20. On 1st and long, a nice catch by Matthew Benton, picking up 8 yards and bringing up a 2nd and 12 from the 31-yard line. Next, a nice catch by DJ Lipke, and he fought his way to the 41, and a 10-yard pickup, And now a third and a makeable first down for Hobart. So on 3rd and 2 and again out of the Wildcat, a direct snap to South Valley, and he carried to the 45, and a Bricky 1st and 10. It was right back to South Valley, and he was able to move the chains with a run down to the 44, and a Hobart Brickies 1st down. Next, a 4-yard pass to Matt Benton, and a 2nd and 6 from the 37-yard line. It was South Valley's turn on a short gainer, close to the marker, and now a measurement. Again, on a direct snap to South Valley, he picked up enough yardage for a Bricky 1st and 10. With the Brickies starting to get in a rhythm and a fresh set of downs at the 34-yard line, it was senior Ryan Lido out of the shotgun, and he rolled to his left and fired a pass intended for Matthew Benton that fell incomplete. But on the play, a flag. This time, a defensive holding call on the Cavemen to the dismay of head coach Keith Kinder. So now the Bricks are knocking at the red zone door with a 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. But before Hobart could pull the trigger, another foul. This time on the Brickies. A false start penalty will move the ball back to the 29, and now a 1st and 15. Next, it was Ryan Lido handing the ball off to DJ Lipke, and he battled his way to the doorstep of the red zone, and a 2nd and 6 next up. Again, it was Lipke fighting his way to the marker, but just coming up a bit short, and a 3rd and 1 for Hobart. Out of the Wildcat, the direct snap went to South Valley, but he was stopped in his tracks this time by Justin Kuseski, and a huge 4th and 1 next up for the Bricks. Not happy with the previous play, South Valley took the snap again and found a hole on the left side and carried down to the 2. And the Hobart Brickies are threatening. Finally, it was South Valley, and the Hobart Brickies are on the board. The Matt Heilich extra point was good. So with 5:25 left in the first half of this IHSAA Round 1 sectional matchup from the Brickyard in Hobart, the Brickies are back in it, trailing the Mishawaka Cavemen 14-7. The Hobart boot was grabbed at the 12-yard line by senior Bradley Taylor, and he carried to the 33, and that's where the Mishawaka Cavemen will take over offensively. On the first snap, a penalty on the Bricks, encroachment, and that'll move the ball up to the 38, and now the Cavemen will have a 1st and 5. On the snap, it was quarterback Samuel Shively on the nice hide and carry for a first down. And he even had our cameraman stumped, and that doesn't happen too often. Then on 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line, it was Christopher Harness powering his way for 8 yards on the carry. It was Harness again down to the Hobart 44 and a fresh set of downs. This time it was Harness for a short gainer. But on the play, a personal foul on Hobart for a shot to the head. And that'll move the ball down to the Bricky 24 and another Mishawaka first down. Next, it was Sam Shively calling his own number and picking up 6 on the carry. Then on 2nd and 4, the ball was handed to Christopher Harness, and he took it up the middle down to the 10-yard line. But on the play, a Mishawaka penalty. Illegal motion will move the ball back to the 24. It was right back to Harness down to the 17-yard line with a 3rd and short next up. Picking up the first down at the 13-yard line was senior quarterback Sam Shively. And once again, the visitors are threatening with time running out in the half. Then it was quarterback Shively again, and this time he's in for the score. And the Cavemen have opened up a 13-point lead. So with $1:28 left in the half, Hobart trails the Mishawaka Cavemen 21-7. Hobart's Miguel Castillo fielded the ball at the 28-yard line and carried to the 45. And let's see if Hobart can make something happen before the half. On first down, Ryan Leto lofted a pass that was broken up, and a 2nd down next up. This time, a first down strike from Leto to Lane Ando down to the Mishawaka 45. Then a shot up the middle that was nearly picked off. Next, on 2nd and 10, a pass intended for Zach Bode fell incomplete. Then what ended the Bricky drive was an interception by Mishawaka senior Carl Fisher III. And the visitors will run out the clock in this first half, leading the Hobart Brickies by 14. Back with second half action right after this.
Hello, my name is Dr. Tim Mullally.
And I'm Dr. Lisa Mullally.
We're the founding members of Indiana Sports and Medical Science Institute out of Crown Point, Indiana.
We offer both family practice services and sports medicine services. We see patients from age newborn all the way through geriatrics. If you're in need of a sports medicine physician or just a family doctor, give us a call today. We have same-day appointments. We hope to hear from you.
The Brickies, who show an onside kick before every attempt, decided to pull it off this time. And it worked to perfection when Matthew Benton made the recovery the Brickies needed. But then an official's discussion, and it was determined that a Bricky player touched the ball before it traveled the needed 10 yards. But after watching the replay a dozen times, it was difficult to tell if the ball actually hit the Bricky player. So as it turns out, the Cavemen will have great field position to open third quarter action just inside Hobart territory at the 49-yard line. Then before the snap, a false start penalty on the Cavemen will move the ball back inside their own territory at the 46, and now a 1st and 15. So finally we get a playoff, and it was Christopher Harness up the gut on a nice run down to the Hobart 44, and a 2nd and 6 next up. This time it was a play action and a pass up the middle intended for Brody Robinette that fell incomplete. But on the play, a Hobart pass interference call will give the Cavemen a 1st and 10 at the Brickies' 30-yard line. Then on the very next play, it was Christopher Harness taking it up the middle and in for the Mishawaka touchdown. Another tough turn of events for Hobart. The Bricky faithful thought they had an onside kick recovery that was eventually awarded to the Cavemen. Then a few plays later, a visitor's touchdown. And now Hobart trails by 14 again. All of this happened in less than a minute. The Mishawaka boot was a good one that was grabbed at the 5-yard line by Matthew Benton. And with some great up-front blocking, the Bricky Jr. was able to find the seam and take it deep into Caveman territory down to the 33-yard line, giving the Bricks great field position to open play offensively in the second half and trailing by a couple touchdowns. The first down snap was handed to DJ Lipke, and he carried for about 3 yards. Next, a play action, and a pass to the corner intended for Zach Bode that fell incomplete, bringing up a 3rd and 7. This time, another pass that fell incomplete, followed by a penalty flag. Defensive pass interference on the Bricks that will be declined and a 4th down coming up. So the Brickies will make an attempt on 4th and 7. On the snap, Brian Lito was flushed out of the pocket and fired a pass that fell incomplete, and the Mishawaka Cavemen will take over on downs. On the first down snap, Christopher Harness again got the call and picked up about 3 yards on the carry. Next, it was Shively's turn, and he was able to fight his way for a Caveman first down at the 46-yard line. This time, it was Harness on the carry for about 4 yards, and the Cavemen are in Hobart territory at the 49-yard line. Then it was Harness's turn, this time for a couple, and a 3rd and 2 coming up. It was back to Harness for a short gainer, but enough to move the chains for the kick. From the Hobart 42-yard line on 1st and 10, it was Harness again, for maybe a gain of 4 yards on the play. Next, a pitch to Donovan Snyder, and he had open field ahead, and a big first down inside the Hobart red zone at the 17-yard line. and Mishawaka once again is controlling the line of scrimmage, picking up chunks of yardage at will. It was Harness this time down to the 10, and a 2nd and 3 next up for the Cavemen. Once again, it was Christopher Harness for 8 yards down to the 2. On the 1st and 10 snap, the Brickies held their ground this time, stopping the Mishawaka senior for no gain on the play, bringing up a 2nd and goal. Finally, it was Samuel Shively again, taking it in for the Mishawaka Cavemen, and they have extended their lead over the Hobart Brickies. On Mishawaka's kickoff attempt, an offside penalty will force another try, this time from the 50-yard line. The Ryan Watt kickoff was a touchback, so the Brickies will take over from their own 20-yard line. On 1st and 10 for the Bricks, a nice Ryan Lido to Matt Benton pass up to the 33-yard line, and a Hobart first down. Then on 1st and 10 for Hobart, it was DJ Lipke for about 4 yards on the carry, bringing up a 2nd and 6 for the Bricks. So on 2nd and 6 from their own 37-yard line, Ryan Lido hit Matthew Benton at the 43, and a 1st and 10 for Hobart. Next, a nice DJ Lipke run inside Mishawaka territory, down to the 39, and another Hobart first down. Then a Ryan Lido screen pass that was picked off by Joseph Willis, and the Mishawaka Cavemen are back in business. So the visitors will start from just inside the midfield stripe at the 49-yard line. On the first down snap, the ball was handed to Bradley Taylor for 3 yards on the carry. Next, it was Christopher Harness carrying near the first down marker. On 3rd and 2 from their own 43-yard line, it was workhorse Christopher Harness, and he has more than enough yards for the first down. We have completed 3 periods of play from the Brickyard in Hobart, with the Mishawaka Cavemen leading the Hobart Brickies 35-7. Back in 30 seconds. Oak Partners Incorporated in Crown Point and Valparaiso provide comprehensive investment consulting services with the goal of increasing their clients' wealth and protecting their financial future through professional guidance with a personalized investment strategy. The staff at Oak Partners believes that investing in today's markets require discipline, knowledge, and professional experience. and they have their clients' trust to deliver prudent advice and help maximize their returns. So the Cavemen will begin fourth quarter action from the Hobart 35-yard line in a 1st and 10. On the snap, the ball was handed to Harness for a couple this time. This time it was Brody Robinette getting in on the action, following his blockers and carrying down to the 29. The Cavemen, who run the ball 90% of the time, are content to run some clock with this comfortable lead. Then it was Bradley Taylor trying to cut the corner, and he came up a yard short of the marker, and a 4th down attempt for Mishawaka. It was back to Harness, and he picked up plenty on the carry. But a chop block penalty on the Cavemen will move the ball back to the 37, and a 4th and 12 next up for the visitors, and a Mishawaka punt. The punt was a touchback, so the Brickies will try to make something happen offensively from their own 20-yard line, trailing in this one by 29, and time becoming a factor. On 1st down, a 6-yard completion from Ryan Lito to DJ Lipke will bring up a 2nd and 4 for Hobart. Then it was DJ Lipke on the carry, but a couple yards shy of the sticks, and a 3rd down next up. Next, it was a Lito to Benton connection, and a Bricky 1st down at the 34. Then it was a play action and a shot downfield that was a bit strong, and a 2nd and 10 for Hobart. Then on the next play, a Ryan Lito to Matthew Benton combination again, and a tough hit on the Bricky Jr., but a great catch hanging on to the ball. Then you can tack on additional yardage on the Mishawaka penalty, and a 1st and 10 near the midfield stripe at the Bricky 49. Next, it was Sal Valley inside Caveman territory, down to the 48. On 2nd and 7, it was Valley for little or no gain. Then a quick Lito to Valley pass in the flats, but short of the marker, and a 4th and 3 next up for the home team. So on 4th down, an incomplete pass, and the Cavemen will take over on downs. Now Mishawaka will be content to run down the clock, something they're very good at. On 1st down, it was Drew Mason up to the 50. On 2nd and 4, it was Mason again, but he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, and a 3rd down next up. It was Drew Mason finding his way to the 45, and a fresh set of downs for the Cavemen. Mason again on a 4-yard carry. Then on 2nd and 6, Drew Mason falling forward picked up the 1st down at the Hobart 34. Again, it was Mason, but this time a short gainer. From the Brickies 32 on 2nd and 8, it was Mason, and now a 3rd and 5 for the Cavemen. With freshman Justin Fisher now taking the snaps, he handed off to Drew Mason, who came up a yard short of the marker, and a 4th and 1 next. It was Justin Fisher on the keeper, and another 1st and 10 near the red zone at the 23-yard line. Finally, a couple knees and this ball game is over. The Mishawaka Cavemen, the state's 2nd-ranked 4A school, came into the Brickyard this evening and did what they do best, and that's running the ball and controlling the line of scrimmage, and they move on to the 2nd round. Congratulations to Coach Keith Kinder and the Mishawaka Cavemen on their victory here tonight. The Hobart Brickies can be called overachievers this season, ending the campaign 7-3. But they had a lot of talented kids on this year's roster who had been used to winning at the lower levels. Coach Craig Osika's Brickies had a taste of success, and there is no doubt Hobart will be a dominant 4A force in the years to come. It was fun, and we're looking forward to next season. A special thanks to Mike Black, the athletic director, and everyone here at Hobart High School for their hospitality this season. And I'm sure we'll be back for some winter sports action. For New Concept Video Sports, this is Bob Guerrero.